What's going on, guys? It's Brandon here for another BFR. So, last night I didn't get to watch the game until about 11:30 Central Time because I had some stuff going on, and it was the last day of school for me just before the holiday break. So, I have time to make more videos, hopefully. Hope to get around, I'm trying to think how long my break is. I believe it's 2.5 weeks. So, one moment. Sorry about that. But I saw the game late last night. I think I started at like 11:30. And so yeah, and I think I went to bed around 1 when it finally ended. I was able to fast forward through commercials and everything, so that made it go by a little faster. But Game 31 versus the Nashville Predators was played at 7:30 p.m. on December 21st. So the Hawks lose 4-2 once again, so that's good. Record 4-20-4. So Tyler Johnson was in, Reese Johnson was out, Isaac Phillips was called up and in. Caleb Jones was out. Mitchell was in. Tenorti was out due to injury. It has a facial fracture, so that's not great. And then Kachuk was in, and Blackwell was out. Shots were 39-27 Chicago. Hits were 27-20 Chicago. Faceoffs were 25-23 Chicago. On the power play, Chicago goes 0 for 4. Nashville goes 1 for 2. The Hawks were wearing their white jerseys for them, like they used to do in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. The Preds were in their yellow gold reverse retros with the saber-tooth tiger on the front, the meth cat as that's been called. Yeah, I already mentioned Phillips was caught up. Stalock is back, but he played backup, and Soderblom was sent back to the AHL. Saro saves 37 out of 39. Mrazek saves 33 out of 37. Let's go on with the first period. Forsberg hits the post early. Lafferty and Athanasiou were both denied. Duchesne post, Kurashev denied. Ekholm's stick stuck in the boards. But then at 10:37, it's a Nashville goal to Nito Niederreiter, 11th of the year from Glass and Fabro, which makes it 1-0. And then at 10:06, it's a Nashville penalty to Jeannot for high sticking, which would be killed. McCabe did have blood, and so it would be 4 minutes, and the entire thing was killed. It looks somewhat decent. Jack Johnson had a good hit on Pearson, I think his name was. Niederreiter was denied. Carrier with a save on Domi. Good save by him. We go to the second period, where Lafferty's stepdad was in the booth to start, so that was cool. There was a bad offside call in Chicago. Then there was a missed offside call in Nashville. Kane was stopped. Sissons was denied. Kurashev had, what does that say? Had a near breakaway. Lafferty had a post on a deflection, and then Kane hit the post. And then at 12:25, it's a Nashville penalty to Yossi for holding, which would be killed. And then I wrote down, game is picking up in speed. It is starting to get very back and forth. Mrazek, at least once a game, comes way out of his net, I also wrote down, and that happened. And then at 3:57, it's a weird turn of events where there's just a Chicago deflection goal, and it goes off Cody Glass's stick, which shatters in two. Like, it was perfectly placed, so it broke the stick. It goes right through it, and then it goes off Saros' stick as well. It's Connor Murphy with his third of the season from Boris Kachuk and Max Domi to make it 1-1. And then 37 seconds later at 3:20, it's a Chicago deflection goal, and it goes off Jeremy Lauzon's stick and skate, double deflection, and it's Mackenzie Entwistle, his second of the season, from Murphy, so Murphy with 2 points. It makes it 2-1, and all of a sudden the Hawks have the lead. The crowd was getting loud, it was chanting, "Let's go Hawks." Radish that was then denied. Granlund was stopped, and then at 2:20, the St. Ignatius junior varsity hockey team was in the booth, or it wasn't in the booth, but it was like in a suite. They had like a picture taken with Chris Chelios and the people that were up there. For those who do not know, I mentioned it a while back, I believe it was on November 12th, they were in a serious crash where there was a drunk driving incident with there was a truck driver and they hit the bus head on. I know members of that team, so it was a very scary incident, and luckily the people I know from that team are alright. Everyone, from what I've heard, is out of the hospital from that team, and there was a kid in a wheelchair, there was some on crutches, but they were all alright, so that's what mattered the most, that they were all alive, they were all recuperating, and we were all able to show up and be happy at the Hawks game. And then Athanasiou hits the post, and then at 5 seconds left, there's a fantastic pass from Ekholm as they entered the Hawks zone. And at 5 seconds, there's a Nashville one-timer goal from Matt Duchesne, 9th of the season, from Ekholm and Carrier to make it 2-2, where we go to the third. During the intermission, it was American versus Canadian Smarties, where Chris Voster's this was something I found really interesting, so I wrote it down. Chris Voster's, who's from Wisconsin, I believe Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and then you have Troy Murray, the former Blackhawk, who is from, I want to say Alberta. I can't be sure about that, but I think he's from like the West Canada. So they were comparing Smartie candies. Like, we have American Smarties, we have Canadian Smarties. I did not know Canadian Smarties existed. Apparently they're like M&Ms, so that's really interesting. I might make that the title of this video. Like, I have the score, and then I'll put Canadian Smarties, because why not? But I thought that was really interesting. Then at 18:33, to start the period, it's a Nashville backhand goal from Roman Josi, his 7th of the season from McDonough and Purison to make it 3-2. And what a shot! He got through about 4 guys on the backhand right over Mrazek's shoulder. It was a fantastic shot from Josi. Then Josi was denied once again. Mrazek has a close save. There were a lot more big saves in the third. Pucks were getting through goalies, but goalies were getting back and recovering. Saros had a good save as Seth Jones was denied. And then at 13:57, it's a Chicago penalty to Domi for interference, and that was a stupid penalty by him. And 6 seconds later, at 13:51, it's a Nashville power play goal to Thomas Novak, first of the year from Josi and Purison to make it 4-2. Tyler Johnson is wide, and that was also Purison's first NHL goal, by the way. And it was starting to get scrummy around the halfway point, and at 12:28, it's a Nashville penalty to Glass for tripping, which would be killed. It was a good power play, and it never left the offensive zone, and Kane was getting frustrated. You could see it. He was smashing his stick. This might have been the most snake bit Kane has been all season, just maybe in his entire career. He had so many chances. Then at 7:40, it's a Chicago penalty to Mrazek, and it was for tripping. It was served by Tyler Johnson, which would be killed. But the weird thing was that Mrazek was going flying out to get the puck, and then Niederreiter, who doesn't even touch him, kind of just falls and goes flying past him. And that was just a really odd sequence. Radish was denied several chances on both sides. Hawks pull the goalie at 1:30, and that would be it. So Game 31 goes to Nashville, and Game 32 will be on, if I can recollect, Friday. Put this notebook on over here real quick. There we go. But yeah, so that'll be it for this one. Changes in the standings. The Devils are no longer in first. They did win last night. I did watch their game while I was at work. So they did end a 6-game skid. Florida, however, they've been struggling. I'm not sure what's going on down there in Florida. I have them in the playoffs still, but it's been quite interesting what they've been going through. No changes in the Central or Pacific. They've been pretty set in stone, except for maybe Colorado and Minnesota moving back and forth. But that's all I have for you guys today. As I said before, I'd like to get some more videos out. I have about 2.5-week break, so I'd like to get some different sort of videos out. Maybe do some videos on jerseys, maybe my favorite and least favorite jerseys. I'll think of some ideas of some sort, and we'll also, if I get anything cool for Christmas, I could show it off in a video, that's hockey related, of course. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.